Welcome to the Blue Mouse Knits. Today I'm going to walk you through how to read a Colorwork chart. This is a stockinette Colorwork chart, meaning that every stitch is a knit stitch. We're looking at color changes and not stitch type changes. So right off the bat, a chart is read from right to left and from bottom to top. So if you look in the bottom right corner down here, on the right column is our row count. And on the bottom, these are our stitch counts. And in a chart, every box is a stitch. You can see them labeled down here. So our first heart section is rows 1 through 8 and stitches 1 through 8. So it makes an easy repeat. So if we were to just look at row 1, which is right down here, we're reading it from right to left. So we start with stitch 1. And stitch 1 is, if we look at our key down here, a white outlined box is a main color. Our first stitch is that main color, and then the second stitch is also in the main color. So we're working 2 stitches in our main color. And then we get to the third stitch here, and that is in our contrasting color. So we're going to work that in our contrasting color. So if I block out the row above it, and we just focus on row 1, you start over here in the corner, and you read it right to left. We're going to work 2 in our main color, because they're a white outline box, and then our third we begin our contrasting color, and then we work 3 in our main color in a row, 1 contrasting, 1 main, and then you repeat it. What's encased in the blue box is our repeat. There's 8 stitches kind of in that outlined blue section. So once we reach stitch 8, we go back to stitch 1 and repeat it. Works out because our stitch count should be divisible by 8. So after you finish that row, you would move up to row 2, which is this one right here. And you're reading it from right to left. So you would start with this box here, our main color stitch. So 1 main color, and then 3 contrasting, and then 4 main. So the most important thing to remember is that you're reading it from right to left and going from bottom to top. But then once we get up to rows 9 through 16, it looks a little bit different because we're shifting our hearts over a little bit. So let me crop this so it's just showing rows 9 through 16 here. We still have our outline, and the stitches that are outlined in blue, which is this block here, so stitches 2 through 9 of our repeat are going to be repeated. For our second set of hearts, you can see it's broken up over 16 stitches in the chart instead of just 8, and that's because our repeat remains the same. Our repeat is still 8 stitches wide. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we've just shifted everything over a little bit. So how to read row 9, for example, we're going to work a setup of 1 main stitch, and then we get to the blue box. So the stitches in the blue box are our repeat. So we're going to repeat these stitches. So you repeat a 1 main, 1 contrasting, 3 main, 1 contrasting, 2 main. So you'll work this repeat until you get down to the last 7 stitches before the beginning of round marker. So then when you get down to the final 7 stitches, you'll work 1 main, 1 contrasting, 3 main, 1 contrasting, 1 main. So you're still reading from right to left. The ones that have the blue outlines here on the left and right side of that row, those are going to be your repeats. Every row will have a setup stitch, and then it will end with 7 stitches that are different than our repeat. So hopefully that makes sense, but I think working this in practice will help even more. This is a short snippet from a free colorwork knitting pattern tutorial I put out the other day. You can find that video here.